Hey, good evening. So, just doing a reference point, a historical analysis, looking at Bitcoin on a weekly chart using the bit step, and I'm on a log. I'm on a log growth, well, a log chart. So the log chart looks a little different. It puts things in perspective. Log charts are very good for long-term chart analysis. It puts things in perspective. So you look on this chart. What is if I didn't tell you what it was, you would say that whatever this asset is, it's been growing. It's been doing well. So of course we're looking at Bitcoin, and from this viewpoint, we clearly see that we're in a major uptrend. But if you listen and you hear people talk about where we are now in Bitcoin, it's a lot of fear, very, very, very much fear in the market, and it's coming to a point where it's really annoying to a certain extent because when these pullbacks or these corrections happen, it's almost as if people don't realize anything about history, anything from stocks that may have been around since the 90s, the early 2000s, or whatever. People over exaggerate a pain point. Right now, we're in a pain point and it's being exaggerated. We got extreme fear in the market. And yet, people forget all this. Okay, they don't see this. All they see is this. When you see this and then you get this, how is it that this is panic mode? How? Now I can see if we did this. Yeah, I can see that. But let's keep it in context. Watch this. So we have an entire structure system in place, and we can put the Fibonacci retracement tool up, and we're gonna do that drop that I just did, and let's say we just come to here. All right, so it's about what 1,400. So let's say Bitcoin dropped to $1,425. Guys, that's just a 38% retracement. Now you see. Now watch this. Even if we came down to a 61%, it's $118 Bitcoin. Could that happen? Of course, anything can happen. Is it likely? No, but it could. Who's to say it can't? It could, right? Nobody's saying it is what it is. You have to respect the markets. Now, I'm not saying it's going to go there, but I'm just showing you. So watch this. We're going to do every mini impulse where we have this impulse here, and we're going to do our fibs. Okay, so here we had an impulse, we went to 70%, and then after we rallied. Now look at this. After we rallied, but look how many people complained, moaned, just gave up, said, I'm not doing this ever again. Look, whatever's going on right now, it's the same thing that happened here. They whatever. And then look what happened. If they would have just maybe stayed put, maybe added some more, they would have been fine. But they complained. All right. Let's go to the next one. We have, we'll take this impulse and we got this pullback. So let's see what we have now. All right. We almost get to the 61%, but we didn't. All right. Look what happened. Push. Okay. Got another push from here to here. What do we have? We got a 50% pullback, and then we went on a rally. So you're seeing what I'm doing, right? Okay. So we can take this rally to this rally. or this pullback to this rally. Stretch it out. And what do we have? We have a golden ratio. We have a 61%. I mean, you think about this. This thing was up here at $1,213, and then it dropped down to 160. Yeah, that's crazy. Unless people who have been around and seen this cycle over and over again understood the assignment. And once again, people moan, complain, I'm out, I'm done, this is a scam, I'm done, it's over with. And I can understand that. This is a new technology. Did nobody really know too much about it back here in 2014, 13, 11, 12, whatever. Yeah, you probably could feel like this, all right? But I guess the people who done their research and understood this market, they really stayed with it and they saw this as opportunities to buy. And I remember I told you when wicks come into the market like this, that means something big came in to take it. Look at this. Look at this wick. Look at these rejections. That means something big came in and bought. Look at this. Bam. Then what happens? Same concept, right? Okay, we're gonna take it from this low to this high. What do we have? We have a 38%. So we got a 38% pullback. Okay. And we'll take it from this low to this high. And we're now coming up on. Now check this out, guys. This is a 38% pullback, and this was the so-called catastrophic drop bear market. 38%. 38%. Keep that in your head. 38%. This drop over here was just 38%, guys. Now we're gonna go from here for this March, and we'll go up here. We just crossed the 23%. All right. The next one's 38. Can we come to 38? Possibly. Might be even lovely to do that. This is really give us some strong discounts in the market. But let's say it do. Look where we at. It's a 23,000 Bitcoin. That's fine. If we want to come on down to the 61, which is here, it'll put us at 11,000 or 12,000 somewhere. Where? Yeah, around 11,653. Could it do that? It possibly could. But the way this trajectory has been running, it's either been between the 38 and at most 50. In the earlier days, we did get a 61. But of course, we got a lot of things more, at stake now. You got more people to the table. It may change the game. But regardless, don't be like other people losing their cool, not understanding the assignment of the long game. This is the long game. If you're not, some of you are not built for this market, and that is okay. But do not get upset, because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you somebody back here complained. Somebody said this is not, like I said, not for me. I quit. I'm done. You're not gonna make any money. Everybody who bought here, everybody who bought here, everybody who bought here, if they're still in profit. In fact, we can do the math from there. If you bought from here, and let's say you sold there, you made you made 41,000%, 42,000%, guys. If you held up to this point, 149,000%. If you're still on now, you up 69,000%. But you're still up from that point. Go back further. What about this one? What about the people who bought in this area? And I'm not going to go to the extreme low. Just do a sweet spot right here. Let's say they held to up to that point. They lease was up 32,000%. If they held to this point, 55,000 something percent. And to where they at right now, 84,000%. So what I'm showing you is this. Every single last person on the planet who bought Bitcoin about right. Let's see. We will be generous right here. I, and it's probably I'm probably a little bit off, but you get what I'm saying. Everybody who in the world who's bought Bitcoin from 30,933 and below are in profit. Let me repeat that. Every single person in the history, if you bought and you have held, you're in profit. If you bought anything below 30,960, and that's just a rough tape because I'm not measuring all the way to it. Because at this price point right here, what we're at right now, you're in profit. So if you bought anything down in this area, okay, yeah, it went up, got a pullback, well, got a pullback. We still hadn't got to this level. Now, if it breached this level, then that means that now you have to move the mark. Every time it dropped, you move the mark. But all these people, anybody who bought here and they hold it in profit, anybody here, profit, profit, everybody. I don't have to even repeat it anymore. You see what I'm talking about. So the question is going to be, will a point in history come where this, all you complainers and everybody who don't understand, will we go into the market and eventually be up to these areas? And would I be able to say, hey, everybody who bought here, everybody who bought here is in profit? That day could come. And that is what it's looking like we're going to get to. So this video was done to show you that you have to open your mind. You have to see it, the market truly for what it's doing. You have to understand where we're going and what's being accomplished. And you have to zoom out. Too many of y'all have already threw in the towel. You quit already. Look at all these people who threw in the towel. So the charts do not lie. Anybody who ever says that they lost money with Bitcoin, it's either because they got into a scam, it's either because they was trying to do derivatives, trying to trade contracts and trade. But if you was a pure investor, you can always go to the chart and say, you're lying. You didn't lose money. You lost money because you gave up on something before its maturations came to fruition. You gave up. So some people need to stop saying that they lost, like, nah, I gave up on Bitcoin or whatever altcoin you in. I gave up. You need to say that. Yes, there are scams out there. There are people who you may have bought high and then you decide to sell low. It's not for you. But if you bought high and then it eventually broke that high, what then? I mean, what was this? It was 19,000 some change back in January of 18. And from January to 18 to where we currently are now, I mean, you got 58%. So if you did buy high at that point, you're still up 58% for percent. And some of you still complain about that if you were. And before that, you was up 258%. So if you're the type of person that comes running into the market always getting at the height of things and never getting in the low of things, that's a problem. That has nothing to do with the market. It's a problem on you because you don't understand what you're invested in and what you're doing. And once again, every investor on the planet right now, I mean, all markets can just catastrophically just go to hell. It can, we don't know. All of it. You gotta respect it from that. But that's what we invest. Investing is taking a risk. You take a risk getting a job. You take a risk marrying someone. You take a risk getting behind a vehicle. Risk happens all the time around us. That's why we have what we call risk management. Now, if you sold and you got out because you didn't like how it was dropping, and that's part of the management. But the question is, how would you participate with the asset moving forward? If you just gave up on it, that's a whole nother conversation. It's one thing to either tether up or adjust uh, your risk tolerance or whatever, or allocate certain funds and certain things. You're managing then, and that's okay. And you may see other opportunities where your money can grow better or faster. You can say that too, but you can never really truly really say that you lost money if the asset surpassed where you got in at. Then you would have to say, hey, I just gave up too soon. I didn't hold on to it. But yes, I have to give knock on wood or give flowers to Bitcoin. It did do what it was supposed to do. And I just wasn't in for the ride. That's the thing. So many people watching this video one day will tell that lie to themselves so they can make themselves feel better. Is that they didn't believe and they got out and they gave up. And then when it goes, that's the story they're gonna tell. And so many people already tell this story, but I'm showing you on the chart how are they correct. But I just gave you the math of all these people below that particular threshold point that we did. Everybody's supposed to be in profit if you've held. There's going to be times where people who have bought will be temporarily underwater until the asset recovers. Assets have to drop in price to give the next generation of investors or the next group an opportunity to invest. If something just continues to just keep going without any room to pull back for breathing purposes, it's not healthy. It's not good. So you need these healthy corrections. Um, you that's why some stocks have stock splits. All right, they need to get fresh money into the market, and they need to make their price attractive. All right, they need to find other creative ways of raising capital so they can expand their business activities. There's a lot of stuff to go behind that. But if they didn't do these splits, a lot of times, you think of something like Amazon. Nobody have time to be, paying over 3,000 something at its height, for asset that price a lot of people out. And then you got Berkshire, um, Hathaway. Let's see which one there is. It might be this one. Is this the one? Yeah. So Berkshire Hathaway right now is worth $469,780. But Warren said he not doing no splits. So I'm gonna say 100% of the people who are watching this video, you probably want, I'm not saying you can't, but majority of us are not gonna buy $469,700 for a stock. We're not doing that. If you do that, I mean, God bless you. But I don't see anybody watching this willing to do that. But look at the growth. All right, look at the growth. Imagine if this is Bitcoin doing this, growing, because we do expect Bitcoin to be at what, four something, $1 million. But look at this. All right, we can take this swing low, swing high. We can measure it. All right, bam. This one, it dropped way more. It dropped beyond 88%. This is probably going to the 90% drop. In fact, you can say this 100% because this is the area we got in and it came back and created a double bottom. But look what happened afterwards, guys. Look at this. From here, even to there, it grew 269%. And then all the way up to where we are now, it's 1,049%. But look at the years. Look how many years it took for that, right? So right here, we're talking about March of 2020, and we know the dot-com bubble really messed a lot of people up, right? So remember what we say, if we have a catastrophic events in the market, if you got great assets, you probably should be looking to be loaded on it. Look at this opportunity. All the people who quit, got out, or give up, capitulation. And then look what happened. You had this massive growth afterwards, right? You keep seeing it over and over again, but the psychology of the market, people don't see. They don't see what their potential is. All they see is that, oh, it's gonna do that. It's gonna go to zero. So from 2000 all the way up to where we are now, I mean, what is that? 20, 22 years? It took 22 years. And yet, look at this. It took 22 years to grow almost 10 times 10x. We'll see. We're all at its all-time high. It was 12x basically. 12x. 22 years. We got assets in crypto that'll do that in like a year. But we can't even see past a year. People will applaud this. They're like, yeah, Berkshire been doing very great. It took 22 years to grow that, and that's still wonderful. But it's 22 years, guys. So imagine what crypto could be in 22 years. Bitcoin is only like 14 years old. Look at the growth. So look what else can happen after that. We add another 14 to that. But some of you don't, y'all not even in this game to even be 5 years in the game. You're just looking at now, looking at your sheep and your Doja coins, and you just got into the hype and you just wanted to get rich real quick. And some of you just never had no intention of really laying your roots, understanding these technologies, understanding the markets, all the markets. When I say, I'm talking about Forex, crypto, stocks, all those things, to understand them and work with them in unison. Most of you did not come into this market to actually learn about the technology, what it's doing. Only thing you saw was just nothing but dollar signs. And when it did not go into your favor quickly, so you could so-called retire tomorrow, you ran to the hills and you quit, you turned in, and you probably told yourself about, oh, this is like a scam, this don't work. Like, you know what I'm saying? I knew I shouldn't have never got in. Yeah, you should have kept your ass right on the sideline to probably be honest. And you don't ever need to come in this type. You don't need to come in no financial market at all. Stick to whatever you do. Cause this ain't gambling. This is, you know what I'm saying? Nah, no, that's not what we do. If you're gonna be an investor, become an investor. Do everything that an investor does. That's researching, that's reading, that's getting better and better. That's adjusting. It's progress monitoring. It's risk management. It's moving things around. It's actively being involved. Seeing what problems are being solved. Repeat the process. Eat, sleep it, repeat the process over and over and over again. And if you stick to the game, eventually things will come into your favor over time. But stop looking. And some of y'all be looking at your portfolio every day. And let's say for whatever reason you woke up and then the prices were where you think they should be. What then? If you're checking every day, you don't really have a strong plan in place. You really don't. You're using your portfolio as a dopamine enhancer. You want to see it in green so that make you feel good. But you don't do nothing. You don't sell. Your greed kicks in. You throw your plan out the way. So what's the purpose of looking in your portfolio every single day? Some of you look at portfolio, you see the red, and then now you get in a sunken place, you get depressed, and you worried about it. And it's like, damn, did you need the money? Because if you needed the money, then you should have never damn invested it. Like, make sense. Make it make sense. But if you understand this game, what we do is we try to allocate as much assets, as much capital to the markets as we possibly can in a safe, strategic way so that over time it makes sense. If these markets are low like this now, yes, I'm adding. You say, well, what if we ain't got no more money? Well, then you don't have no more money. You can either go get a second job, you go do whatever. But it is what it is. Everybody got different circumstances. I'm not going to sit here and say that my idea is the ultimate idea. But I'm saying when you know you want something, you want to make something happen, you're gonna avoid all excuses. You're gonna go all in. You're gonna be like Kobe Bryant. You're gonna be like Michael Jordan. They went hard. They perfected their craft. They worked at it. So if you're gonna be about building wealth for your family, man, you cannot be no punk in this game. All right, this is my rant for the day, night, morning, wherever you're gonna watch this video. You can hit the subscribe button and you can hit the like button. And I'm within a couple years come back to visit this type of conversation. And I see a lot of y'all playing around. I'm gonna have some choice words for you too, because I got you. You ain't gonna be able to use no excuse because we're gonna come right back to these charts, and I'm like, yep. So you know what time it is, but y'all have a great night. May the horse be with you.